Hello everybody, what is going on? It is me, Scarecrow Gaming, and I'm bringing you guys another build video. Man, these build videos just keep getting longer and longer. I'll try to make the next one short as possible for you guys, but this one, it kind of needed to have most of the steps shown in it so you guys could recreate it if you really wanted to. I fiddled around with this part at the beginning way too long, but that's fine because everything else is pretty much clean and cut. So, the point behind this build is I know there's a mod out there that gives you an elevator. Matter of fact, I was using that mod up until I created the staircase, and the reason that I decided to make the staircase is because I'm making these hanging shacks from the Overpass, and those hanging shacks has a staircase that leads to it from the top of the Overpass, and that staircase that leads to the very first one has the elevator where it's at clip right through, and I can't really have that. So what I had to do is I was like, okay, I have to think of a unique way to make a staircase or just deal with the clipping. And to me, the clipping is just way too much for me, so I decided, alright, I'm going to do something else and something unique. And this idea sparked to me when I was actually going to give you guys a preview of what I've done at Finch Farm. I was looking at the overpass leg right there that this is being wrapped around, and I was like, I might build a staircase. I don't know how I'm gonna do it though. And I was just looking, and I was just like, I might build it around that leg right there. And the more I thought about that in the video that I was recording at the time, I was just like, yep, I'm going to go do that. So I was just like, okay, enough of that. I'm just gonna go ahead and not even upload this, and I'm just gonna go and build it. And that's what I did. This took me about 2 hours in of itself to build, but with you guys watching this build video, you guys probably will be able to do it quicker. So what I do is I make these floors all curve and tilt and such. That way it gives it more shape. It's not boxy. It's just, how do I put it? It looks like it was built up by these slavers that are at my Finch farm, which is Finch slave farm. So yeah, I think it's turned out really nice. A lot of the stuff that I do, though, is just really basic stuff, and the reason why it's probably going to be easier for people that have the correct place anywhere, but for me, I find it really easy to do this even with just my messed up place anywhere. And for those of you that don't use place anywhere that are like procrastinators, or not procrastinators, but what the fuck is it called? Hipsters, maybe? I don't know. Nothing to be rude to you guys, I understand. I used to only do the rug and pillar glitch as well, but the place anywhere tool is just so useful, even if mine's not the right one. It's like the ghetto place anywhere. So yeah, but it's very useful, but I believe if you just use the rug and pillar glitch, which even though it won't work on these floors, I'm pretty sure you could build something similar to it, just using the select all with a regular post. But I might be wrong. Try it out. If it doesn't work, I'm sorry, but hey, that's just the name of the game. So, with these floors, the reason why I curved them, like I said earlier, is because I wanted it to not be all boxy and square. If I would have kept them how they are, it would have turned out pretty bad. So right there, I am now adding on the next staircase leading up. And I'm going to be quiet for the most part right here, because there's some things I don't just need to speak about constantly, because it's a lot of just repeating. So I will be right back. So just a side note, as you guys can see right here, that these still actually snap on pretty damn well, even with them curving. And I thought that was really nice. There's sometimes that they're like, there's curved too much so they just won't snap. But for the most part, they will continue to snap, and just ignore the clipping right there. I covered that up with plywood, because plywood is a godsend. So yeah. So a note about these staircases right there. That one right there. I use that because it already comes with the platform attached to the top, and I believe it's longer than the other ones. The reason why I use it though is because, well, that just explained it to you. The reason why I have to bring it down there and I just can't place the place anywhere tool on top of it while it's snapped into place is because for some reason the place anywhere tool just goes right through it. So you have to go and bring it down on the ground, sink it through the ground using a pillar glitch or using just the place anywhere tool itself, and then go and move it into place. But once you move it into place, it snaps in just perfectly fine. And here I am using plywood to cover up the ugly bits. It doesn't look too bad. So you might notice the god-awful thing I'm about ready to do right here. I repeat, railings! It actually doesn't look bad when they're curving. It gives them a different definition. So, right there, I'm looking at that platform, I'm just like, what if I place boards on top of there? And I do try it out, and it might work if you put more time and effort into it, but I was just like, this video is already going to be long enough, so I decided not to, so I take them out. This next part right here I add on is because right there at that level around the staircase, not the staircase, but the leg of the overpass, it looks too bare, and I'm just like, how can I do that? I'm just like, shit, why not just add another platform? It'll look cool. So I move the staircase right there into place because it won't just snap, and then I add on that flooring right there because it just won't snap. So I build those all along across the bottom or top, I don't know, along that section right there because I'm going to curve them one by one. It's a technique that I use quite a bit, and there's sometimes when I just go and place them in one by one, then turn them. But most of the part, I usually just bring them all across and then curve them. And I try to give this a definite curve, like I'll replace it a couple times. But I wanted to make sure it wrapped around the leg of the overpass, and I do change that up right there. The staircase does not stay like that because I get the idea of, okay, like that goes out way too far, it doesn't look right, and it would be weird supporting it. Because I do plan on using wires to make it look like it's supported. Oh my, I could have fell right there. But other than that, I mainly just define the curve a lot more, as you guys can see right there. I try to give it the jut out, and as you guys can also tell, that doesn't want to snap in. And it's not because it just won't, it's because the last board right there at the end is getting in the way. So I end up taking it off after I put this staircase in because I realize it's not needed, that board right there. And it just works. So it goes in right there, that staircase. Turned out really nice. I'm happy with how it looks, and then we'll end up going back to the next level that we did not leave off on, but just left by itself. Just look at that. That looks beautiful. So back where we left off of, or where we left alone, after we decided not to put the boards into place right there on that little platform in between the overpass leg, I go back up here and I add in these floors, and this is actually not after, but before I put in that one section that I thought looked bare, because I was just like, okay, well, shit, I can't do what I'm about ready to do, because I'll get to the point where I'm finished with this, and I'll get it to where I have the floors going across the bottom to lead to the side of the staircase where I wouldn't be able to go up, but I end up hitting my head off the part of it, so I have to lower down some parts. But you guys don't have to worry about that, because the only part I had to lower was the staircase I ended up using for bringing it up some, and you guys will see what I'm talking about in a moment. Not this staircase, it will be the next one. You guys will see that in a little bit, but yeah, that just needs to be adjusted slightly when I get to the... Actually, no, it is a staircase, because once I try bringing it across, you guys will see right here. Yeah, I end up hitting my head off of it, so that one does need to be lowered, but I do fix that in, like, not even a matter of minutes. And it doesn't take much to do. So here I am just checking to make sure I ain't hitting my head, ain't hitting my head off the overpass right there. Yeah, the other side of the overpass, out back. But no, I just had to check to make sure it wasn't going to hit right there. And what I use to support these is I use wires and such to make it look like it's hanging in a way. And I also do use some supports, like the mid supports, mid-free supports. That way it looks just more ramshackled and stuff like that. It's very rickety looking, and I was thinking about tilting some of these floors that you stand on, but eh. So that railing right there from the concrete section, it actually snaps into place, and I wanted to just show that right there. It can snap to places that the other railings won't. So now I'm adding the staircase along the top right there, the long platform, and this is supposed to lead to where the elevator is at. And that's the whole point of this, because I already had an entrance built up for the elevator. I'm just like, well, I still want to use this because it looks cool, and if I delete it all, it might mess with how the build looks at the top. So I decided to go ahead and just use it. So I get to the end right there, and I use the short shack staircase, that one right there, as you guys can see, and I put that into place. I had to make sure it wasn't going off the edge, because I was turning it slightly. And then I bring that across, and then I place another staircase going over there. More of the floors are turned, as you guys can see. It looks very rickety, and that is the whole point of it, is it just works. Or does it? Would you just look at that? It has to be the most beautiful staircase I've seen at Finch Farm for an overpass. And now I'm just adding the supports. It's a real quick and minor thing. But honestly, I have to say that I think this is the best staircase I've seen for Finch for overpasses just in general. For when I do Grade Garden, I might do one, but I don't want to be like somebody else on YouTube that does like 20 builds of the same thing just at different settlements. And that's why I'm trying to think of if I want to do that or not. So if you guys would like to see me do one for Grey Garden and see if I can do something similar to this, I mean, then I can. But I don't know how it'll turn out, and it's up to you guys, really. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys would like to see me do that. And when I go to Grey Garden the build, who knows when that will be, because I honestly hate building at Grey Garden just because I don't like greenhouses, because it makes me feel like, okay, I have to keep the greenhouse. So that's why I'm not doing it. So here's the fully decorated tour. Not much decoration needed. I just added the Rust Devil's fire fire totems, and then some lanterns laying around, and a couple of fire barrels. And actually, where we decided not to put that platform at is where I put a fire barrel. It turned out really nice. I think it fits with the slaver settlement by far. You can see a lot of the wires just hanging and pulling up and supporting some of the settlement, the staircase. Slip of the tongue. And yeah, I think it's turned out pretty damn good. So let me know what you guys think down below. I'll let you guys watch the rest of the day tour, and I'll speak some during the night tour. So here is the night tour, and I have to say, this doesn't look too bad at night. It doesn't look great, it doesn't look fabulous, but I have to say, it still looks very nice. There is some wires that like you'll walk through, but you can just imagine that, or like immerse yourself into saying that your character is just simply walking underneath of it, since these wires don't actually connect to power. It's just like, imagine that those conduits are like the, what's it called, the connectors for holding those wires into place so that they just aren't stuck there. So yeah, I think this turned out really nice. It's definitely probably the best Finch Farm Overpass staircase I've seen by far. Whenever I see somebody build staircases at Finch Farm or at Grey Garden for an overpass, they always look, how do I put it, like shit. Just pure shit. And I know I haven't seen probably all of them on YouTube, but like, people will always build these huge scaffolding staircases, or they're like built this big boxy elevator using the old contraptions elevator. And I know we have those Genner elevators, like I said at the beginning of the video. I know that because I used it before. I did this, but the thing is that those are kind of boring, and they're hard to make look like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, it's hard to make them look interesting. And I tried that before, as you guys saw with me making it. If you guys keep up with my live streams, you guys will see that I built like a custom platforms for the elevators and such like that. But like, it's hard to make them interesting enough to where they aren't just a piece of metal that goes up and down. So with the staircases that people would build before we got that elevator mod, they was just these huge boxy things surrounded in the warehouse pieces. I'm just like, no, that looks like shit. Why are you doing that? Dear God. So with the overpass staircase that I built right here, it's just more open, it's more free, and it just looks so rickety. And that's what I love about it. But I don't know. Leave you guys' thoughts on it down below. And as always, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Share this video to all your friends and family on the Facebooks and the Twitter. And as always, make sure you guys check out my Patreon. Link to it down below. And go and check out some other YouTube channels that I am friends with, like DarkDally, UnoBros, and CommonwealthCourier. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace and have a wonderful day. Bye.